If you're over 60 and you've noticed changes in the bedroom, you're not alone. Slower response, less interest, or maybe no response at all. It's not just you, it's not in your head, and it's not something you have to accept as just aging. After 60, testosterone levels decline, blood flow weakens, nerves become less responsive, and the quiet result, a man who feels less like himself, especially where it matters most. But here's what most men don't hear often enough. This is reversible. Yes, real science shows that you can improve performance, energy, and vitality without pills, prescriptions, or awkward doctor visits. It starts with what you eat. And one category of food has been quietly overlooked, even though it's one of the most powerful allies for male health: nuts. I'm Dr. Moore, PhD, here at Senior LifePlus. I help men over 60 rebuild their energy, strength, and confidence through natural, evidence-backed solutions. Today, we'll cover 3 specific nuts that do 3 very specific things: boost blood flow, support testosterone production, calm inflammation and stress. 2 silent testosterone killers if you felt a shift and want to feel like yourself again. These simple daily foods may be the best place to start. If this speaks to you, type 1 in the comments or share your biggest health concern right now. And don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss these deep dive videos. Let's dive in. You didn't feel it all at once. It wasn't a dramatic shift, it was more like something slowly faded. You still go about your day. You still get up, drink your coffee, read the paper, but something's missing. Your energy doesn't kick in like it used to. Your body takes longer to wake up. And when it comes to intimacy, things feel different, less responsive, less consistent, sometimes not there at all. Most men don't talk about it, they quietly adapt. They think maybe it's just age or maybe I'm just tired. But deep down they feel it, something changed. And it wasn't just one thing. It's a combination of small internal shifts that slowly take away what used to come naturally: strength, stamina, and desire. One of the biggest reasons: testosterone. According to the National Institutes of Health, men lose about 1% of their testosterone every year starting in their 30s. By the time you're 60, you could be working with 30 or even 40% less than you had in your prime. And testosterone doesn't just affect your libido. It drives your energy, your muscle strength, your focus, your ability to burn fat, your sleep quality, and your sense of vitality. When testosterone drops, everything else drops with it. But testosterone isn't the only piece of the puzzle. There's another, more silent culprit, one most men overlook: blood flow. As we age, our blood vessels stiffen. The inner lining, called the endothelium, becomes less responsive. Your body produces less nitric oxide, the compound that helps blood vessels relax and expand. And without proper blood flow, even healthy testosterone levels can't deliver results. Think of it like this: testosterone is the message, but blood flow is the messenger. If the messenger can't get through, the message is never delivered. This is especially true when it comes to performance. Erections rely entirely on circulation. Without it, things stall. Even if you feel desire, your body doesn't respond the same way. And when that happens often enough, it starts to chip away at your confidence, not just in the bedroom, but in everyday life. You begin to feel older, less grounded, less like yourself. To make matters worse, poor blood flow and low testosterone feed into each other. When your testosterone is low, your body produces less nitric oxide. When blood flow is poor, testosterone can't circulate efficiently. Add to that a bit of sleep trouble, stress, or poor diet, and now cortisol enters the picture. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and when it's high, it actively lowers testosterone. It becomes a loop, one that pulls you further away from the man you remember being. But here's the good news: this isn't permanent. Your body is older, yes, but it's still responsive. Studies show that men over 60 can improve testosterone and circulation naturally, with no medication, by making smart, targeted changes to their diet. A 2022 study in the Journal of Urology found that older men who improved their nutrition saw a 17% rise in free testosterone in just 3 months. Another review from Harvard found that diets rich in plant-based fats, magnesium, and amino acids like arginine helped restore nitric oxide and improve endothelial function in men their age. This means one thing: Food matters. Not just eat better in a vague sense, but eating specific nutrients that your body is quietly craving. And here's where most men are missing out. Because hidden in your pantry or maybe sitting on the shelf at your grocery store are three types of nuts. Simple, affordable, powerful. Each one supports a different part of the male performance equation. Blood flow, hormone production, inflammation control. And that's where we're headed next, starting with the one that's been called nature's nitric oxide booster. Of all the foods that support male circulation, one stands out, not because it's exotic or hard to find, but because it's often overlooked. Walnuts. You've seen them in salad bars, maybe tossed into cookies or chopped on oatmeal. But what most men don't know is that walnuts are one of the most potent natural foods for restoring blood flow and protecting the cardiovascular system, especially as we age. Walnuts are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that helps reduce inflammation and support the flexibility of your arteries. But what really sets them apart for men over 60 is their high concentration of L-arginine, an amino acid your body uses to produce nitric oxide. That's the same compound found in many prescription medications for erectile dysfunction. Nitric oxide is the signal your blood vessels need to open up and allow more blood to flow, especially to areas that require strong circulation during intimacy. When blood flow improves, everything improves. Energy, alertness, confidence. But walnuts don't stop there. They also contain polyphenols, plant compounds that reduce oxidative stress, which is a known factor in both aging and vascular damage. And the healthy fats in walnuts help lower LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol that can clog arteries and reduce blood supply over time. This combination of anti-inflammatory power, vascular support, and nitric oxide production makes walnuts a unique ally for men trying to reclaim their edge. Clinical research backs this up. In a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, men over 60 who consumed 40 grams of walnuts daily for 6 weeks showed significant improvements in endothelial function, the ability of blood vessels to expand and contract properly. That same study noted a reduction in markers of inflammation and oxidative stress. In plain terms, their blood vessels worked better, and their bodies were less inflamed. And while all of that is impressive, there's another surprising benefit: brain health. The same nitric oxide that helps improve circulation also supports oxygen delivery to the brain. Walnuts contain antioxidants that may help slow age-related cognitive decline. A 2020 study from UCLA found that older adults who regularly ate walnuts performed better on memory tests and had lower rates of mild cognitive impairment. When you consider how circulation affects both performance and memory, walnuts offer support at both ends of the spectrum. The best part: they are easy to eat. You don't need to grind them into a powder or blend them into some complicated smoothie. Just grab a small handful, about 5 to 7 walnut halves, and enjoy them raw and unsalted. You can mix them into oatmeal, sprinkle them on top of Greek yogurt, or eat them as a mid-morning snack. The key is consistency. One handful a day over time becomes a habit that quietly rebuilds what age has slowly taken away. If you've been feeling slower, foggier, or less steady in your performance, this small daily shift may be the foundation your body has been asking for. Walnuts may not look like much, but inside they carry exactly what aging male physiology needs: nitric oxide precursors, vascular protectors, and inflammation fighters. One handful a day. That's all it takes to get started. If this resonates so far, hit like. It tells YouTube this is worth sharing with more men like you. And now that we've fueled your circulation, it's time to turn to your hormones. Because while blood flow is the vehicle, testosterone is the engine. And there's one nut, just one, that naturally supports hormone production more than almost any other. You might walk past them in the bulk aisle. Maybe you've seen 1 or 2 tucked into a holiday nut mix. Most men have never even heard of it, but it could be the most powerful one of all. Brazil nuts. Yes, this unassuming nut is one of the most powerful hormone supporters a man over 60 can eat, and it all comes down to one quiet mineral: selenium. Selenium doesn't get the headlines that zinc or magnesium do, But for men, especially aging men, it plays a central role in how your body produces testosterone. In fact, your Leydig cells, the tiny structures inside your testicles that make testosterone, rely on selenium to function properly. Without enough of it, testosterone production slows. And for many men, it's not just slowing, it's stalling. Here's the problem. As we age, our ability to absorb selenium declines. Our diets become less varied. And without realizing it, we fall into a state of mild deficiency that can slowly erode our hormonal health. The result? Less testosterone, more fatigue, decreased muscle mass, a flat mood, and a libido that just isn't what it used to be. Now here's where it gets interesting. Just one Brazil nut contains more than 100% of your daily selenium needs. Just one. It's the most concentrated natural source of selenium on the planet. And that means it offers a unique, food-based way to support your testosterone. Without pills, without synthetic boosters, and without risking hormonal imbalances. In a 2020 study published in the Journal of Trace Elements in Medicine and Biology, men who increased their selenium intake for 90 days experienced an average 16–19% rise in testosterone levels, along with improved sperm health, energy, and mood. That's a major shift, especially for something so simple. And unlike supplements, selenium from whole foods like Brazil nuts is more bioavailable, meaning your body actually absorbs and uses it more effectively. But the benefits don't stop at testosterone. Selenium is also a potent antioxidant. It helps reduce inflammation, which can otherwise disrupt hormone function. It supports your thyroid, another organ deeply connected to male energy and metabolism. And it helps protect against oxidative damage, the cellular wear and tear that accelerates aging from the inside out. What's even more fascinating is how quietly it works. You don't feel a jolt, you don't crash. But over days and weeks, your energy starts to stretch a little longer. Your mood evens out. Your mornings feel more awake. And the small spark that felt lost begins to return, one steady day at a time. The key with Brazil nuts is moderation. Because they're so rich in selenium, more is not better. In fact, too much can lead to selenium toxicity. All you need is 1 to 2 nuts per day, no more. Chew slowly. Make it a ritual. That one moment in the afternoon, after lunch or with your tea, can quietly feed your hormonal engine in a way most men overlook. Brazil nuts are not flashy. They're not trendy, but they offer a quiet kind of strength. By now, we've supported your blood flow. We've jump-started your testosterone. But there's still one more piece, one that often gets overlooked but affects everything from how deeply you sleep to how steady your energy feels during the day. It's the hidden force behind how well your hormones actually work, your body's ability to manage stress and recover. And this is where almonds come in. Almonds aren't just a snack. They're a compact, nutrient-rich food designed to support the systems aging men rely on most. Packed with magnesium, zinc, vitamin E, and healthy fats, almonds help stabilize your hormones, regulate blood sugar, and support nerve and muscle function, all of which contribute to energy, performance, and mental clarity. Let's start with magnesium, because for men over 60, it's one of the most common deficiencies. According to the National Institutes of Health, nearly 70% of men in this age group don't get enough magnesium from food. And low magnesium has been linked to poor sleep quality, higher stress levels, muscle cramps, and even reduced testosterone. Magnesium helps relax blood vessels, regulate your heartbeat, and calm your nervous system, all essential for nighttime recovery and daytime performance. Then there's zinc. While Brazil nuts offer selenium for testosterone production, zinc is equally important, especially for maintaining free testosterone, the kind your body can actually use. Almonds offer a natural, bioavailable form of zinc that supports your immune system and hormone balance without the harshness of synthetic supplements. Almonds are also one of the best foods for blood sugar control. Their healthy monounsaturated fats and protein help slow digestion and reduce spikes in glucose, which can wreak havoc on your hormones and energy. By keeping blood sugar stable, almonds help reduce inflammation, protect your vascular system, and support long-term metabolic health. But perhaps one of the most overlooked benefits of almonds is how they help with sleep, and that matters more than most men realize. Testosterone is primarily produced during deep sleep, specifically during slow-wave stages. If you're not sleeping deeply, your body can't regenerate hormones, can't rebuild muscle, and can't restore energy. Almonds contain magnesium, tryptophan, and other compounds that promote relaxation, making them an ideal evening snack. And the benefits don't stop there. Almonds have also been linked to improved brain health. A study from UCLA found that regular almond consumption was associated with better memory and reduced signs of age-related cognitive decline. When you combine that with better sleep, steadier blood sugar, and hormonal stability, you're looking at one of the most complete support foods available. The key is in how you eat them, not roasted in oil, not coated in salt or sugar, just raw or soaked, about 10 to 12 almonds per day. Soaking them overnight softens the skin, improves digestion, and enhances nutrient absorption. Try having them in the evening, after dinner, but before bed. That small handful won't spike your blood sugar, but it may help your body wind down, rest better, and rebuild while you sleep. Now that we've explored all three nuts, walnuts for blood flow, Brazil nuts for hormone production, and almonds for recovery, it's time to bring it all together. Because what matters most isn't what you know. It's what you do every day. You don't need a complicated system to feel like yourself again. You just need to give your body what it's been missing, consistently and with purpose. That's what Mark did. Mark is 68, retired contractor, always kept active, didn't smoke, still walks his dog every morning. But over the past year, something shifted. He told me, it wasn't like I didn't want to be close to my wife, I just didn't feel like I could. He wasn't in pain, he wasn't depressed, he just didn't feel ready anymore. And that feeling had started to affect more than just his relationship. It was bleeding into his self-esteem. We didn't talk about medications. We talked about nutrition. And we focused on just one thing, improving his circulation, rebuilding testosterone, and reducing the everyday stress that dulls male hormones, all through food. So we started simple. 5 raw walnuts first thing in the morning while the coffee brews. 1 Brazil nut mid-afternoon just after lunch. 10 soaked almonds in the evening, nothing fancy, just in a small bowl next to the chair where he reads. By the end of the first month, Mark said he started waking up with morning energy again, something he hadn't felt in years. By the second month, he felt a shift in intimacy, not just physical but mental. He felt connected again. And he didn't feel like he had to try so hard. It wasn't a miracle, it was fuel. His body had been running dry, and those 3 foods, steady and targeted, started filling the gaps. They didn't just feed his blood or his hormones. They gave him back a sense of normal. That's how change happens at this age. Not with intensity, not with pressure, but with intention. So now you've seen what 3 simple foods can do. Not in theory, but in real life for real men. Walnuts to open up your blood vessels and help circulation return to where it matters. Brazil nuts to nourish the very cells that produce testosterone and keep your inner drive alive. And almonds to ground you, supporting recovery, sleep, and the quiet rhythms your hormones rely on. Each one works differently, but together they form a foundation. One that doesn't depend on pills, patches, or guesswork, just real food, daily support, small shifts that over time build something stronger. If you're not sure where to begin, keep it simple. Set up a small glass jar on your kitchen counter. Fill it with your daily dose, 5 walnuts, 1 Brazil nut, and 10 almonds. That's it. No fancy recipes, no complicated schedule. Have it after breakfast or again in the evening. Let it become a quiet ritual, something that reminds your body every single day that you're giving it what it needs to rebuild. Because the truth is, you didn't lose your strength overnight. You didn't lose your energy or your edge in one moment. It happened slowly, quietly, and the way back will be the same, not instant, but real. And if you begin today with just a handful of the right support, you may start to notice it. That's how it starts. That's how it builds. So let me ask you, which of these 3 will you start with today? Will you begin with the walnut, the Brazil nut, the almond, or maybe all 3? Let us know in the comments. I read every single one. Your feedback helps shape the next video, and it may just inspire someone else who's on the same path as you. And if you found this helpful, even just one insight, take a second to hit that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that this is something worth sharing with other men like you. And don't forget to subscribe, because in our next video, we'll be revealing 3 common foods that silently sabotage male hormones after 60. It's one you won't want to miss. This is Dr. Moore, and as always, thank you for taking time to care for yourself, one handful at a time.